Hello, I'm John Griff. I'm the current chair of the Nenescape Landscape Partnership Scheme. Welcome to this, the Nenescape Legacy Film. We've been talking to some of the organisations that have been delivering the projects that Nenescape has been supporting. We've also been talking to some of those who've been supporting that process. We've also talked to some who will become the caretakers of the Nene Valley region for the future. Enjoy the film.
I'm Richard Hollingham and I'm a trustee at Northamptonshire Acre. On my drive over here to Stanwick Lakes this morning, I was thinking about how the River Nene actually ties everything together across the whole of the county. So when I start thinking about what's the future of holding all these different organisations together and how do we see them coming together, I think there's a lot to be said for cross-county coordination. One of the things that we do at NACRE is work across both sides of what is now a split county, and I think we've seen both good and bad points about that division. And it's very important that over the next few years, as the agendas for climate change, for green issues, for food-related issues grow in importance, it's important that people come together across from all the way from the east to the west. How this is done, it's going to take organisations who have got big profiles, making sure that they work with organisations at a very local basis.
So, the University of Northampton was delighted to play a role in the development of the Nenescape project, from the initial pilot project through to the full 2.5 million plus Heritage Lottery funded project over the last few years. We've been the competent authority, in other words, we've looked after the money, and over the last couple of years I've had the great pleasure of sitting on the Nenescape board. In terms of sustaining a commitment to the culture, heritage and environment of the Nene Valley going forward, well, first thing to say is our Vice-Chancellor, our new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Anne-Marie Kilday, who arrived with us in August, is from a history background. So she is clearly very committed to the heritage aspect of the Nenescape project, and indeed she lives on the southern boundary of the county herself. So she has a vested personal interest as well as a professional interest in making sure that continues. And both environment and sustainability, but also culture and literature are all key parts of the university offer, and a key element of my faculty, the Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology. We have research institutes in sustainable futures, in literature and in history, and all of those will play a role going forward in ensuring the legacy of Nenescape as things develop and as the Nene Rivers Trust takes over some of the work that Nenescape has started. We also have significant amounts of student curriculum in those areas. So we will go on recruiting students who are interested in language and literature, interested in history, interested in performance and the arts, and certainly students who have a real interest and an intention to work in the environment. And all of those students will be available to volunteer on local projects and with local communities. And that's something that very much plays to the university's changemaker ethos. And importantly, we are really committed as a university to outreach with young people in schools and colleges. And we've been delighted to work with the Nenescape team for the last several years, who have contributed to events such as Women into STEAM and STEAM Northants. And I deliberately use STEAM rather than STEM. Many people may have heard of science, technology, engineering and maths, which is STEM, but we add the arts and the culture element, which makes it STEAM. And the Nenescape team have been immensely supportive of providing opportunities for young people in the county to really engage with the environmental history of the Nene Valley, which is something that I'm personally very passionate about and is my own academic background, and we will absolutely ensure that that continues going forward as well.
here in West Northamptonshire, we're going to be promoting the fantastic work of Nenescape by continuing to promote our Heritage Open Days, which have formed part of the Nene Valley Festival over the years. Last year's event culminated with a wellness event at Delapre Abbey, and we also like to open up some of our best loved heritage destinations, such as the Royal Ordnance Depot over in Weedon and other destinations across the district. We're also going to continue promoting the fantastic work on environment and biodiversity that Nenescape have promoted over the years. One of the priorities is the Upper Nene Valley gravel pit special protection areas, where the range of wildlife, the biodiversity, the beautiful scenery on show is a real priority for West Northamptonshire Council. It fits in with our corporate objectives of promoting sustainability in the environment, and it means that the work of Nenescape will continue to be there for the future generations. There's a similar piece of work going on at Upton, where new wetlands and an extended area of the country park will form part of the legacy left behind by Nenescape.
The greatest benefits that we've seen have been in the improvement of the capability for walking. The Rambler's been trying for 9 years to get bridges replaced, and we had very little success. And we're so pleased that we've now got the 2 bridges replaced, and we are very pleased that in the years to come we will have a new walking route along the Nene, and that the improvement will be, the advantage will be for not just ramblers but for everybody being able to make use of the walks emanating from here, going along the Nene towards Ditchford or into Wellingborough, and that is going to be a great benefit from the health and walks that people can do, and we're hoping that as ramblers to use the Chester House for the start of a number of walks that we do on a regular basis every week.
The Greenway project is something that we as ramblers support because it works with people wanting to walk along both the River Nene and the River Ise, and so we have members who sit on both planning groups for the Greenway, and we're looking forward to seeing progress in both areas as we can then expand our walks for people who may perhaps be less able to walk along paths that are better surfaced.
Hi, I'm Carol. I'm a Chester House volunteer. I came to Nenescape. I volunteered through various areas. I did litter pickings, I handed out flyers at public engagement events, and I spoke to the public about Nenescape. And then I signed up to become a volunteer at Chester House Estate. But my main interest before that was through the Portable Antiquities Scheme, which was facilitated by Nenescape. And this is part of the British Museum. We used to meet and enter data provided by the Fines Liaison Officer for the county and put it onto the British Museum site, so it was all quite exciting. I'm now volunteering at Chester House Estate, and I primarily work in the Archaeological Resource Centre, or the ARC. I just enjoyed working with other people. If we were litter picking, I knew there'd be something to see at the end. I also helped out on one particular litter pick when they officially opened the artwork on the Greenway in Royston. That was quite fun. We did a litter pick and we planted things, and I've also met the public, and I think it's quite interesting to tell people what you're doing because they become interested themselves. And also my volunteering here at Chester House Estate, I know that there are over 300 volunteers signed up here, and this particular site could not exist without its volunteers to help out in all sorts of roles.
The Environment Agency can see real value working in partnership with other organisations to improve the River Nene navigation. I think working in collaboration can achieve so much more. For instance, working with the destination Nene Valley, we've been partners for this group for many, many years. We've achieved the Nene Valley website that really helps us to promote the waterway for boaters, but also paddle sport users, which are becoming increasingly more popular. We've also reformed the Nene Task Group, and this is a group of interested parties coming together to discuss the navigation, what improvements we can do to improve it again for the boating community, canoeists and stand-up paddleboard. Also, we're working with our national team to look at reviewing all the facilities along the river. Are there gaps that we can seek to improve? Seeking other funding, working with others to make that possible.
I'm Richard Clinton, Chief Executive of Delapre Abbey Preservation Trust. Partnership work to us has been really important, and I think what we've seen is the strength and the size of the opportunities that exist when we're working with others. And when we're looking at visitor economy, we're not strong by ourselves, we're much stronger working with others. And so we've really learned how to develop, how to harness the opportunities that exist within these partnerships. Currently, we're exploring the development of a quarter of active and well-being activities and programs with partners such as the University of Northampton, Northamptonshire Sport, Public Health, Business Improvement District over at Brackmills. And it's really interesting to see our learning from early partnership work and to really drive actually what heritage and culture can bring to that partnership and how we can all work together to really develop a pride in the place that we work, sleep and enjoy in, but also how we can show people what they've got on their doorsteps, how they can enjoy a much more fulfilling and happier life in these places that we call home.
My name is Sue Galloway. I'm the lead level 1 coach for angling and development for the juniors of Northampton Nen Angling Club in Northampton. I took over as the lead coach from late Mick Dermer, who was heading the Nenescape Let's Fish events on the canal and at Meadow Lakes. What has happened with us taking part in the Let's Fish events, it has increased our junior membership from 15 to 50 in the period of 2 years. Out of the 50 young people that take part in the activities, 14 of them have represented the club at the Canal and River Trust Junior National Championships in Shropshire in September. And then another 11 went and represented the club at the Communities Commonwealth celebrations up at the Shropshire in October 2022. The way forward for us is to continue developing the current juniors in helping them improve their angling skills and their match fishing abilities, whilst also increasing membership, especially for children and young people with disabilities and females as well. We don't have enough females, so we really want to strive to improve on the amount of females fishing.
Hello, I'm Adrian Oates. I'm Head of Fundraising and Marketing at Nene Park Trust. Nenescape has been a wonderful project for Nene Park Trust and for Nene Park. We've so enjoyed being part of it and so grateful for having the opportunity of working on the project. It's given us so much confidence, so many new skills, and even just helped with improving our infrastructure. We're standing here on the boardwalk that was part of the project, a wonderful boardwalk by the riverside here that will last for another 30 years. And it's given us the chance to work with our volunteers and have them help with some of the projects like building this boardwalk. They enjoyed that so much, and going forward now we're working much more with our volunteers and they're helping us look after the park much more than they ever did before we worked on the Nenescape project. So looking forward, we've got some really fantastic ideas and things that we want to do using what we've learned from the Nenescape project. We want to do more interpretation to tell people about the history and heritage of the area. We want to do more digital interpretation. We did a fantastic digital interpretation on our rural estate, and we want to do more of that around the park so people can find out about the history of the park by looking at their phones and with exciting things to do on their phones. We're having more apprentices. We had a couple of fantastic apprentices that worked for us during Nenescape. So Nenescape has really helped us build our capacity to do these large-scale projects. And we've started a new project with the Heritage Fund, York Community Green Space, which is all about opening the park to much more the diverse communities of Peterborough, bringing them in, hosting events and activities that really speak to the diverse communities of Peterborough. So we're doing a lot more activities and events at the park. And again, we wouldn't have done that if we hadn't have had the experience and confidence of doing the Nenescape project first. That's a really exciting project that will last for the next 5 years.
I'm Becky Gill and I'm the Heritage Manager here at Stannick Lakes. We have been very lucky to be awarded several Heritage Lottery grants, which has allowed us to tell the amazing story of all the history we have on this site, from Neolithic right the way through to medieval. What has been important, and what is part of our strategy when we were awarded the grant, is to make sure that we have a solid legacy strategy so that we can continue to tell this amazing story even when the project's finished or even when we're not here on site. Legacy has come in many forms, from having interpretation boards around the site, from having a trail that visitors can do throughout the day, through to buildings like the barn behind me, which has been part of the Nenescape project and has really helped us tell the story in a better way. The barn was built as part of the project to demonstrate to people the different methods of building settlers would have used and made their dwellings out of. It was built by volunteers and they were taught by traditional crafters how to build. It took us about 2 years to build it. Nowadays we have the Spinners, Weavers and Dyes Guild from Northamptonshire who come every Wednesday from 10 till 4 and they have an open door policy, and they basically talk to all the visitors about spinning and allow them to have a go, etc. So this is a real demonstration of how a building that was built as part of the project lives on. And I think working with the Nenescape project has really allowed us to do more structural things so that visitors constantly have a visual reminder of heritage and how important it is in this site. Another thing which is really important to us and as part of our legacy is our garden, which now has thousands of visitors come to look at what we've been doing, which was basically to tell people about the different plants that people would have used. So we have beds that talk about medicines, plants for their homes, plants to eat, etc. And this is now turned into a number of gardens, a wellbeing orchard, a nursery garden, all of which are being continued to be used into our next project. And that's what's been excited about the legacy from the Settlers of the Nene Valley project, because it's really given us a platform to work from in our new project, which is extremely exciting. We've got more of the story to tell, which is why I believe the Nenescape project helped us get another project, and because we've got so much more we need to share with people. And that is allowing us to look much further into the way people used to live, particularly the Iron and Bronze Age. So we're building an Iron Age settlement which will have different roundhouses, which will allow us to tell that story and do reenactment days. We are also rebuilding a roundhouse, which is a really big story, and actually in a previous project we built our first one. We are also renovating, if that's the right word, the barrow, which is a real legacy to previous projects, and certainly this one is now going to allow us to relook at a barrow, which is a scheduled monument we have here. And we've also got quite an adventurous project of looking at Iron Age boats, Bronze Age boats, and what they might have looked like. So we've got a team of volunteers helping with this. So we are extremely grateful to Heritage Lottery for the funding. We're extremely grateful to the Nenescape project, because that has really allowed us to go on to another stage of the project and the story we need to tell.
Hi, my name's Emily Butterwick. I'm a Sustainable Development Lead Advisor working for Natural England. Natural England plan to continue to develop the hard work of the Nenescape project in a variety of ways. Firstly, we intend to continue the hard work of the Access for All project by working closely with external partners to work on developing the Greenway through Northamptonshire. The aim of this project is to create an accessible, free mode of transport that will help connect people with nature. Additionally, we will be working to carry on the hard work of the Resilient Rivers project by improving water quality through engaging with the water companies in the area, as well as landowners, so we can improve the habitat and make it better for wildlife and for people. Finally, we'll continue the hard work of the Farming for the Future project by working closely with landowners in Northamptonshire. Our catchment sensitive farming team are working tirelessly to improve the agricultural land quality in the area, create more habitat for wildlife, and generally make Northamptonshire a better place to live.
I'm Matt Johnson. I'm the Conservation Manager for the Wildlife Trust in Northamptonshire. Throughout Nenescape we were primarily involved in two projects, Farming for the Future and Access for All, and we achieved loads of great stuff with both those projects up and down the valley, but in a way they're only just getting started and there's lots more that we're planning to do into the future. In terms of Farming for the Future, we've now got our permanent full-time land advisor, Bruce, who's going to be working with landowners. Some of our projects, such as the meadow restoration, the wetland restoration, take years to really come to fruition. So we'll be continuing to support the landowners we've already worked with, and also we've got some funding, match funding from the Environment Agency, to expand the project across the whole of the valley, work with more landowners, and try and engage those farmers to really create more habitats, link up existing sites, and make the valley a better place for wildlife. In terms of Access for All, we've got a partnership with Natural England and the two unitary authorities, and we'll be continuing to support them in engaging landowners on sites where we can improve the access and interpretation for people to enjoy the special protection area without impacting the overwintering birds. We can work with landowners and help them achieve the aims of better wildlife and access for people across the valley.
Hi, my name is Oliver Burke. I'm the chair of Northamptonshire's local nature partnership. Nenescape has really set the foundation for how we want to work in the future. The fantastic work that it's done along the Nene Valley, bringing communities together, but also bringing local landowners together and working in partnership to deliver a step change in nature conservation is really how we want to be working as a nature partnership. The Nature Partnership is a collective of organisations who have come together with a passion about the natural environment, including local government, national government, and also charitable organisations. And really Nenescape has given us an opportunity to build on its legacy and looking at how we can reconnect communities with the landscapes across Northamptonshire, not just the Nene Valley, and how we can actually bring about a step change in nature and bring about nature's recovery. One of the things that we'll be working on as a nature partnership is a local nature recovery strategy, a requirement by government. And the Nenescape project has actually given us the foundation to build from, to actually pioneer that work and move forward with the activities that we're trying to do with local communities and local landowners.
Hello, I'm Martin Lawrence. I'm the chair of Northamptonshire Heritage Forum. It's a forum which is a unified voice for 112 heritage organisations in Northamptonshire. The forum was established in 2002 and continues to expand and give greater service to its heritage organisations. It is the key stakeholder in the heritage sector in the county. This year we will be focusing on helping our organisations to raise funds, be more resilient and sustainable in this post-COVID period. It's important that we maximise our communication through our newsletter, through our journal, through our website, through our Facebook page, to make sure that members have every opportunity to maximise the number of visitors who attend and can provide the best service. Another priority is expanding the digital capacity of our organisation members, because that's the way in which we can get reach not only to people in Northamptonshire but to communities and visitors who are coming into the county. We will be working very hard this year, celebrating our members through our awards ceremony and communicating with all those who can help us to grow and develop.
My name is Jack Pishorn and I head up Culture, Tourism and Heritage for North Northamptonshire Council, which includes overseeing the Chester House Estates based in Ayrchester, the Cornerstone in Kettering and the Corby Heritage Centre in Corby. So the Chester House Estate has grown at a very fast rate since we opened in October 2021, and Nenescape have been fundamental to getting us to a stage where we've got over 200 volunteers that are actively engaged with the running and the everyday development and operation of the Chester House Estate. We are very devoted to pushing that forwards. We need volunteers to be able to run Chester House moving forwards. We've recently just recruited a full-time volunteering officer that is part funded by the legacy money from the Nenescape scheme, and we tend to keep that post in role in post moving forwards for a long time to come. Our volunteering base does not just stop now. We want to keep growing on it, we want to keep investing in it, and we want volunteers in all areas of our organisation moving forwards. So Destination Nene Valley has been a big part of this area's tourism activity for the past 10 years. We are very keen and devoted to pushing that forwards to keep it going for a long time to come, and we also want to enhance it with an umbrella Discover Northamptonshire, putting all of our tourism together moving forwards, with the Destination Nene Valley continuing to focus and invest on our visitor attractions, hotels and businesses along the Nene Valley region, from Peterborough all the way through to Northampton.
Hi, I'm Catherine Suarez from the Nene Rivers Trust. One of the lasting legacies from Nenescape and the programme of works has been the incredibly strong relationships that have been built with partner organisations and with communities. And we continue to enjoy the benefits of those partnerships in the programmes of work that we are delivering just now. The Nene Rivers Trust is involved with delivering restoration projects for the river itself. We're also involved with working with farmers and landholders around the provision of ecosystem services, reducing flood risk, enhancing biodiversity, etc. Looking to the future, we would be really interested in exploring opportunities for another landscape scale programme of works, similar to Nenescape, working with partners to deliver multiple benefits at a broader scale. And we'll be looking to explore that possibility in the next few months, the next couple of years. There are incredible benefits that come from working at that landscape scale and working across multiple objectives. Historically, I guess many of us are accustomed to working just within our very focused or narrow silos. But when you start bringing multiple disciplines and interests together, the benefits are, it's not just 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Somehow the benefits are enhanced tremendously. And so we're really interested in looking at another landscape scale programme of works within our area to deliver with partners, and that's where our focus will be.